into the Core Report. This past week, we saw Big T calling his shot in the Discord before shipping over 150K in PGA.
You don't know what you're missing if you're not in our premium Discord. Big T literally handed the winners to our subscribers before launch.
What's going on, everyone? AP over here at Rumpier Sports, bringing to you the Strokes Gain Show here with my two main guys. We got Snyder, we got Hoop. We got the last major of the year, the Open Championship at the Old Course, St. Andrews. The Mecca of golf, where it all started, is what they all said. The course looks to be playing firm and fast. Hoopster, what's going on, my man? Let's bring you in. Last major of the year. I think, if I were being honest, like my majors this year, I think like a break even, I think it's a break even, a loss and a loss. So we got to get it right. I got to get it right. Yeah. But talk to me, man. How you feeling coming into this week?
Yeah, I mean, looking for a rebound myself. It hasn't been the greatest stretch. Got dusted last week. Really never even had a chance last week.
I mean, who had a chance last week though? Like yeah. It was like I almost min cash with like a 3 of 6. I mean, it was a crazy week.
And it's crazy. The craziest part about last week, and this is the shit that annoys me sometimes. Like I had 50% Xander across the board. Like Xander was my highest owned guy, like by far in all my main lineups, and still got dusted. So that is not exciting. But looking to bounce back here, obviously, in massive prize pools across the industry. The last major here, like you said. And you got all the big boys here, and it's going to be a fun event. It's nice, especially if you're a night owl. You get to watch golf, starting at 1:30 Eastern, and if not, you get to wake up and half the round's over, and you still get to tune in. Good coverage here all throughout. Looking forward to it, and the one thing that stands out, this course is going to need some wind to be defensive, and it's not looking like we're going to have high winds. So we were talking about a little bit in the opening. I think we can anticipate some higher scores here this week. So it's going to be interesting. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, some of the interviews I was listening to, and obviously Snyder, you're going to get to talking about the course and everything, but yeah, it looks like benign conditions. I do think like they could place some of these pins in tough locations. The course looks to be playing firm and fast, so to make it difficult on people. But Snyder, let's bring you in, man. How are you feeling coming into the last major of the season?
I'm feeling great. I'm looking forward to this event. I love this event. You get some early AM golf here. You wake up and check your lineups. Hopefully you got some guys going low, or you can just skip sleeping altogether if you want to roll it through that way. Looking forward to this. I'm pretty excited for this, pretty dialed in, I think. I like the spots that I'm on this week, so I'm excited to jump into this with you guys.
Yeah, so we got the regulars in chat. We got Lando, we got Stephen Coy. Steve, I got a question. So last week, I use windy.com. There's 4 different projection models. I know nothing about like meteorology and wind projections and all of that, but the GFS model, if you know anything about it, hit me up in Discord, send me a DM, because it was like on point for the Scottish Open last week, which ended up being a nice advantage. And there's a little disparity between that model and a few others this week. So hit me up in Discord. We can chat about that. You can educate me on that. But man, get into this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the red button down there. We don't have a lot of time to waste on that type of stuff. So please just help us out and do that. We want to get into the event. We want to get into the winners. Snyder, I want to kick it right back to you. The Old Course, St. Andrews. Give us a little breakdown of what to expect this week.
Yeah, I've got some notes here for it. The 150th Open's back where it should be for such a milestone, I think, right here at the Old Course at St. Andrews. The par 72 is going to measure just over 7,300 yards. It's going to have a unique setup here, too. 2 par 3s, 2 par 5s, giving golfers 14 par 4s. 6 of those par 4s are going to play under 400 yards. The course is playing very firm and fast, as you mentioned there. I do expect the R&A to set this course up with some tougher conditions here, like tougher pin placements, tuck some of these pins in some in some tough spots here to help eliminate golfers trying to drive these greens, force them to play like more tactical golf, I think. I still think there's going to be some scores here, but I think they're going to be tougher. You got to play your angles just right, I think. I don't think you're going to be able to just bomb it away here with a lot of these pot bunkers they're going to try and hide these pins behind. As of now, as we said, the winds look to be down. I don't see much of a wave advantage. I think we need to keep an eye on that, though, because some of these winds can change with a dime here on the coastal winds here. Some of these wave advantages has yielded some huge results, so got to keep close attention to the winds here. 2 holes are going to have water in play here. 110 bunkers are going to litter this course. These pot bunkers are very tough to play from. We could see some golfers hitting shots sideways, backwards, even just to find relief out of some of these tough bunkers here. The greens are going to play a lot slower than we normally see on the PGA Tour, mainly due to these possible high winds that they usually have, as the course is completely exposed to the coastal winds here. The front 9's going to play downwind here, and then coming back on the back 9, it's going to play into the wind here. Golfers must play the proper angles, I think, here. I think playing your angles, playing tactical golf is going to be needed to have success here at St. Andrews. I think 3-putt avoidance is going to play a pretty big role here as well with such large greens here. Putts inside 8 feet are going to be super important too. I've seen many golfers on the practice greens. All they're doing is practicing these 6 to 8 footers. Like Tiger Woods mentioned that. He's like, it's going to be really big for us this week. So some other key stats we'll be looking at: strokes gained approach, par 4 scoring, 3-putt avoidance, driving distance some, and around the green play.
Yeah, very good. I kind of like, I'm kind of a stats guy. I'll admit that. I use it to like, confirm or move off of, some of the decisions, some of the golfers I'm looking at. But this week, the Open, it's like, it's just different, man. You got to just ride these guys who are playing good right now, who have good command over their game. Xander, one of them. Like, this dude is just playing phenomenal right now. So I do think that's going to be a fact that we all agree on, because the one thing I just know, I know scoring is going to be good. It seems like it's going to be good. I think it's just, man, some of these guys are going to get bad breaks, bad bounces. And so you got to roster golfers that can move along, that can just, roll with the punches. So how we do it each and every week, we're going to go tier by tier. We're going to start 10K and up, 9K, 8K, etc. We have a lot of golfers to discuss. So Hoop, I'm going to kick it right over to you. 10K and up, Jordan Spieth, a guy I really like, all the way up to the guy who is favored this week, Rory McIlroy. What are you doing with this range?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty clear range. The 2 guys that you pointed out, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, are the ones that are going to be getting the ownership up here, and rightfully so. I mean, Jordan Spieth, really solid last week. You believe where did he finish? He finished, 10th, and he has a lot of success here at this Open Championship. 10K, he's about 16, 17, 18 to 1 in most books. I think he's a really solid option. Rory at the top, 11-1, 7 straight events. I mean, I've dogged the guy a lot. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you've watched this show on a regular basis, I've given Rory a lot of shit. Oh, he's only a top 25 golfer. He was, for a stretch, not very good. Okay. Now he's turned it around, and we're looking at 2 months, 3 months now where he's been the best golfer in the world. And, second at the Masters, that was a backdoor, though. I mean, he backdoored that second. He never had a chance to win that. But 5th at the Wells Fargo, 8th at the PGA Championship, 18th at the Memorial, won the RBC Canadian Open, 5th at the US Open, 19th at the Travelers. He's just the best right now. And in this range, if I have to put money on who I think is going to win it, it would be Rory. Now, you can't really bet it. He's 8-1, 9-1 in this event. I just think that, he's playing the best out of everyone. So definitely interested in Rory at 11-1, interested in Spieth at 10K. Now, where it gets interesting is everyone else in between, because this is the first week, I think, where we see some really low ownership on guys up here. I think Scheffler, I don't know what the numbers are looking like, but there's no way Scheffler gets ownership. You have Rory up here, who everyone's going to gravitate to. We have a major where everyone likes to play these balanced builds. They're going to play the balanced builds again this week because the 9K range is absolutely loaded. So a guy like Scheffler can't be owned. A guy like Rahm, I don't think is going to be owned either. And honestly, I don't know if I can get to either of them. Like, man, Rahm has just hurt my feelings so much. Last week, he wasn't great either. 55th at the Scottish Open. I don't know if I can get to Rahm. Scheffler looked awful last week. He was on the good side of the draw. He had that massive advantage, that 2.5 stroke advantage. Missed the cut. Like, that was a huge advantage last week. He sucked. 73, 72. I don't know if I can go to Scheffler, and it feels uncomfortable. And then Justin Thomas, a guy I've been riding a ton. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with him, but his game is certainly not trending in the right direction. Doesn't have a lot of success at the Open. So I'm torn what to do with a guy like JT. And then Morikawa, I'm just not playing. I know Snyder will be on him, but Morikawa just has not been all that good. And 10-3, I'm fine being off him. So my favorites up here, Spieth, Rory. Probably going to have to be off Scheffler and Rahm, which, I mean, man, like, game theory is telling me otherwise, because I know they're going to be unowned. I mean, I was just pulling up some of these ownership projections, and a lot of these places have those guys at like 10%. I'd be willing to say they might come in even lower than that 10% number, but I don't know if I can get there. And then JT is the one that I really want to see what you guys have to say about.
Yeah, very good. One thing I have to note before we bring Snyder in, just to get him warmed up, just to get him lubed up and ready to go, he's going to love this stat. Colin Morikawa at the Scottish last year, right before the Open Championship, made the cut, but finished like dead last, 73rd or something like that, T73, then went on to win the Open Championship. So I bring that up because JT missed the cut last week. The dude was like, Tiger's his best friend. They're like, but like, they're holding hands, walking down the fairway. I mean, man, I wish my best friend was Tiger Woods. I mean, don't we all? Like, it's crazy. I would literally be like running out of the Scottish Open to go play golf with him, kind of a screw that mentality. But I bring that up because, Colin Morikawa last year proved that maybe the Scottish Open isn't that good of an indicator of, success for the following week. Snyder, let's bring you in 10K and up. What are you doing in this range this week?
Yeah, it's interesting there. I will have some Morikawa. He's only going to be like maybe 3 to 5% ownership, so it's super easy to get overweight on him. I'll have him some up there, but it's mainly going to be Rory for me up here. I think 11-1's a fair price tag for him. He's got elite form heading into here. A chance to finish top 10 in every major this year, which is a pretty big accomplishment. He knows his course very well. He's played this from the Dunhill Links into I think he played here at the US or the Open was here last time, but he's played here quite a bit. He's put the 2-iron in his bag this week. He says he plans to use it off the tee when needed. So I think that's going to be huge for him. If he can hit that 2-iron like 300 with all this rollout that's going to be, I think that's going to be huge for him hitting his spots and not getting into trouble. And it's going to kind of put him back a little bit, so he's not going to have a very in between club like 50 to 75 yards in. Maybe he's like 90 yards or something. So I like that. He did talk about how this course is playing way more firm and fast than he's ever seen it ever. So he said he added some or took some bounce out of his wedges and put that 2-iron in. He's made some decisions to prep here. He's getting a lot of the action. I think I seen like 15% of the handle was on Rory or something like that. He was at 14-1 open. He's all the way down to 9-1. So he's definitely getting action. He's first in strokes gained tee to green, ball striking, par 4 scoring the last 24 rounds. So I definitely like Rory here. Scotty, I don't think I'm going to get to him. I mean, I've been on Scotty a lot this year, but I just don't think I can get to him this week. I think I'd rather play Rory in his course history, and then I kind of worry about some of these guys that don't have as much links experience, as this is going to play much firmer and faster than a lot of these guys are used to playing. So I'm going to be off of Scotty. John Rahm, you can read Big T's notes there. Like he said, he's getting fatter after the kid. Let others play him. I'm going to let others play him. I haven't been playing him much this year, so there's no reason to jump on him now. So I'm going to listen to Big T there. JT, I could get on some JT here. 10-5 is a very good price tag, I think, for him. He's been practicing with Tiger a lot, like you said. I'm sure he's been asking him tons of questions. Tiger has some of the best experience of anyone here, so I think JT's a great option there. He's not going to be too highly owned. It only looks like JT's going to be like maybe like 11 to 13% owned, or so. I think he's going to be under 15% with Rory, and then Spieth right down below 10K. Not sure what I'm going to do with Spieth yet. I'll probably play him. I never get him right though, but I think he just plays so well in these links type events and overseas and such in these opens. So probably have some Spieth. I'm going to have a little bit of Morikawa just for FOMO, probably more so. At 3 to 4% is pretty easy to get overweight on there. And so mainly I'm going to be
that low, 3 to 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Wow,
it's like
you got to be peeling.
Oh no, he's not going to be 3 to 4. Snyder, he's going to be
under 5.
These guys are going to get ownership. No, I bet he's going to be over 5. I'll take that. I'll take that right now. I think I owe you money too. So did I ever pay you? I can't remember anymore.
I don't know.
That's why I don't do bets with people. I never remember. Oh, I don't have a whiteboard. I need to invest in one of those.
Our producers should just not jot down every single bet and take 10%, and life would be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Colin Morikawa is going to be over 5%. Like Paul Striker just, won the Open Championship last year. So here's the thing for me. When you look at Rory, like this guy, man, when I look at what he's done recently, it really reminds me of the stretch that we saw between 2014 and 2019. During that stretch, 2014 won the Open Championship, T5, T4, T2. He wasn't able to defend his title in 2015. Little soccer incident there, got hurt, so he missed that. But what I'm getting at is when you look at this, he hasn't gone inside the top 10 in all 4 majors. The last time he did that was in 2014 when he won 2. He won the Open and he won the PGA. So while I think, a fast course kind of hurts him, I think the maturity is up there. I think you see it in him playing with Tiger. I think he's developed other areas of his game to kind of align to where he was back during that span. So I'm with you guys, man. I think he's going to be, I think he's the best play, one of the best plays out there. And you have to think his ownership is going to be somewhat capped because of the price tag, 11-1. I'm telling you guys, like everyone is going to want to play all these guys. Everyone's going to want a little sprinkle of Rahm, Scheffler, world number 1. Morikawa, JT, Spieth, everyone's going to want to sprinkle. And what it's going to do, all of these guys are going to be, Spieth and maybe Rory are going to be the higher owned, but all of these guys are going to get some ownership. No one is going to be that inflated, in my opinion. So Rory is just, man, like I think he's a phenomenal play, phenomenal tournament play. You got to have exposure to him this week. And then honestly, my next favorite play is Jordan Spieth. When you look at what Spieth is doing right now, it's really incredible. Like when you think about his imagination, like when you look at the Scottish Open last week, I thought he played terrible. He shouldn't have finished T10 at all, but somehow he did. Very, very impressive. The ball striking's been good. He's been very good off the tee. The approach game is good. And the putter is going to come back. I watched his interview. He sounded very good. Always does. I mean, he's a professional, but those two, I'm with you guys, locked arm in arm. And then look, it's JT. Here's the thing. I wrote it up in my article. Hopefully I'm quoting this right, since I wrote it up, but I can't believe the guy doesn't have a top 10 in the Open Championship. Like if you think of his skill set and how good he is, I just don't believe, like I can't see how he doesn't book a top 10 this week, how he isn't, in contention. So JT is the other guy I want. We got to make cuts here. I got to cut world number 1, Scotty Scheffler, most likely. Rahm is an easy cut for me. He just, the putter short game isn't there. And, Snyder, your boy, I want to like Colin Morikawa. And off the top of my head, I don't know when he tees off, but I would be so tilted waking up if he's like 6 under, 7 under, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Thursday when we wake up and see half the guys, finish with their rounds. But, I got to make cuts. So for me, it's going to be Rory, it's going to be Spieth, and then JT. Hoop, did you want to give us kind of your top 1 or 2?
I think I got to rank it in the exact order you just gave. I mean, it's Rory, it's Spieth, and JT would be the third. I think at this point. I mean, I don't know. I'm not fully decided on JT at this point, but if he's looking to come in around 10%, can play 20 and get double the field on JT, like I think I would be in. So Rory and Spieth for sure, though. I mean, they're just clear plays.
My one concern is Scott, like if you think of last year in the Open Championship, like it was somewhat benign conditions, I believe. And Scotty's game kind of free flowing, kind of rolls with the punches. He is the one guy I'm concerned about, but it is what it is. Snyder, your top 2 or 3 in the upper tier.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be right with you guys. I mean, it's definitely Rory 1 for me. I may even entertain the thought of just playing Rory and just loading up a bunch of these 9K guys with him. I'm not sure yet. I think like Xander, Fitzpatrick, some of those guys down there. I think there's a couple guys about $1,000 cheaper than Morikawa that I think are better than Morikawa this week. So I'm definitely going to have some.
Oh, that's big. That's big.
Definitely going to have some consideration for the lower 9K guys. But Rory number 1 for me, and then probably Spieth, but I never get him right.
Man, it's like, like when you look at it, first in approach, first in tee to green, first in ball striking. That's Rory McIlroy we're talking about. The putter's on fire. His form is good. It's tough. Shot a 63, I believe, in 2015, and then he had the bad side of the weather draw there. So, I mean, man, a lot of cases to be made, but let's keep it going. We got a 9K to discuss that is absolutely loaded. Hoop, let's start with you. 9K, what are you doing with this range?
Yeah, I mean, it's a loaded range. And the problem here is we know from past majors is this is where a lot of people start with their lineups. And these are going to be some of the highest owned guys in this field. So it's almost like you have to make some fades here. You got to make some cuts. And you start going through these names. It's not easy to X these names out. I mean, the ones at the bottom, I think, at least for me, are very easy to X out. Hovland has been terrible. I mean, Hovland has been – was he on the good side of the draw last week as well? Like, he teed off early, right? So
I don't think he had his clubs, and he just, man, like putting was bad. He 3 and 4 putted a ton of times, but
he's looked bad. I mean, he's looked bad for a while. Like, he hasn't been good for a while. So, I mean, easy fade there. I mean, I can't imagine he turns it on here. Matsuyama, haven't been playing much of him. It's worked out quite well. I'll continue to fade him. And then Dustin Johnson at 9-2. I'm not playing Dustin Johnson, and that's easy. Now it's where it gets tough. Xander Schauffele is playing the best golf in the world short term here. We're talking the last 3 weeks. A guy that was labeled someone that couldn't win. Well, he's won his last 2 events and whatever that bullshit Pro-Am was as well. So his last 3 events, first place for a guy that can't win. And I mean, a lot of people on the inside of the PGA Tour and whatnot have always said, like, Xander is like probably one of the best guys. He's definitely like a top 3 guy in terms of talent. Could just all be starting to realize it. I mean, he was not good round 1 last week, and he just coasted after that. I mean, just dominated round 2, 3, and 4. Tough to fade him, man. I mean, tough to fade him. Then the guy right behind him, Fitzpatrick, 9.7K. Another guy just on a heater right now, just absolute heater. Wells Fargo 2nd, PGA Championship 5th. Missed the cut at the Memorial, the one-time winner is massive, massive chalk. RBC 10th, 1st at the U.S. Open, and 6th last week. The one potential drawback is if this is a lot of guys going low, that's typically where you don't want to target Fitzpatrick, but man, he's been good. And then you get to Zalatoris, the guy that, has been great at all these majors. I think he is the one that most people cut though, because it's a higher price tag than we normally see from him. And honestly, for me, I will probably be cutting him this week, and I don't feel good about it whatsoever. Cam Smith, I love this week. I think this could just be a Cam Smith sort of week. I just, something tells me that he does well here. So in on Cam Smith. Patrick Cantlay is another guy just playing lights out golf right now. 3rd, 14th, 13th, 4th last week. The course, I think, sets up really well for him. And then Shane Lowry is another guy playing great golf. So a lot of guys like that are playing just so well. But then you get to the point where you can't play everyone. How do you get overweight on everyone? Well, you got to kind of get unique with your lineups. But just looking at this, like Xander, Fitz, Cam Smith, Cantlay, Lowry, all really solid plays. Now, when it comes to building lineups, can I play all these guys? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I might have to cut one more of this list, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be very hard because I really like all 5 of those guys.
I'm with you, man. It is difficult. So I always, each and every week, I always like try to pull some random stats that start to correlate with, weather or just different things about, the event that's coming up this week. I started the week wanting to just auto fade Cantlay when I was doing my top 20 article. And the reason was he's just sucked in majors. He's been bad. Like, it had nothing to do with anything else. I was just like, this dude sucks in majors, not a big game hunter. However, he's playing very good right now. I pulled up a few things. Calm conditions, benign wind conditions, he ranks first. Shorter tracks, specifically par 72s, he ranks first. So Patrick Cantlay, I'm with you, man. I think he's a very interesting play. I hope people work under the narrative of just he sucks in majors, so they don't play him, because I think he's a very intriguing and interesting play this week. But Snyder, let's kick it over to you. 9K range loaded. Willie Z. I mean, he's just a top 10 machine, big game hunter. I mean, man, he has an 80% rate, I believe. I could be wrong on this, but like when he's teed it up in majors, like for posting a top 10, it's insane what he is doing right now. Good ball striker, Fitzpatrick, all these guys. What are you doing, man? Because we can't play them all.
Yeah, it's tough. That's why I may only play Rory up top, because I like a ton of these guys. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw like Xander, Fitzpatrick, Cantlay, Cam Smith, Lowry, any of those guys finish higher than Spieth or Rahm or Thomas or Scheffler or Morikawa this week. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So I think I'm going to be on a lot of these guys. I mean, Xander's so tough to fade here, but he did admit that he's not going to have his normal prep leading up to this, if it matters at all. I don't think it really matters. He's on a similar heater as we saw Scotty Scheffler earlier this year. So I think he's just fully locked in. The game's great, and it's in a good spot. Under 10K, I think Xander's too good of a price to jump out now. And like that with Fitzpatrick there too. He's underpriced as well, I think. 10 of 13 events this year, he's finished inside the top 10. Has experience at this track from the Dunhill Links events he's played here. So I think Fitzpatrick is another good option here. If the winds do come up, I mean, he's the perfect guy I want playing in this type of event with the winds there. Will Zalatoris is the guy I am having trouble with. Usually I love playing him in these big time events, but I think not having much experience on this type of course is gonna hold me off him this week. He is ranking pretty poorly in scrambling, 107th in the field, and then putting, he's 107th in the field as well. So I think that's going to hold me off of Zalatoris, because I do like Cameron Smith. Or I mean, he had that little mini slump that people were talking about. Played great through the Memorial, just absolutely great. 48th at the Canadian Open and then missed a cut at the U.S. Open. But last week he bounces back with the top 10 finish. I mean, he played great over the weekend, 68, 67 over the weekend to finish inside the top 10. So I like Cam Smith there. I think he's underpriced as well. Like a lot of these guys, Patrick Cantlay, I was thinking he's one of the most underpriced guys in the field here. I mean, he's quietly been playing just great golf. Shot 69, 67 over the weekend to finish fourth at the Scottish last weekend. I think he's got the perfect game to play here. This could be his big breakout spot too. So I'm not normally a Cantlay guy, but I'm definitely going to be on him this week. And then we got Shane Lowry down there. Missed a cut on the number at the U.S. Open, but it's been played well last weekend too. A 68, 67 en route to a ninth place finish last week over the weekend. He's been having one of his best years of his career as well. I think he has every tool needed in his bag to play this course. He's played here many times too on the Dunhill Links events. So definitely like Shane Lowry there at 9-3. I think Lowry, Cantlay, pretty much the same as Morikawa. So I mean, I'm going to side with those two over Morikawa, but I'm just going to have some Morikawa more as a FOMO. I think he's going to be under 5%. So I mean, all these guys are going to steal ownership away. I think Spieth and JT just absolutely squeeze Morikawa. And It's going to be interesting to see the ownership on like a Cam Smith and Cantlay. I think those two are kind of going to get squeezed out from the Xander, Fitzpatrick, and then Lowry, right? Or Lowry right below him. So I think Cam Smith and Patrick Cantlay are going to be the lowest owned in this 9K range. So I'm going to be on them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these builds work out. If I can play all these guys with Rory or what I need to do.
The one reason why I think that Patrick Cantlay is one of the best plays in this range is it seems like there's a little theme going on this season. It's like, okay, Scotty Scheffler, phenomenal start, world number one, continues to play good. Who's his best friend? Sammy Burns. Sam Burns, 3-time winner on the season. It must be a good mojo type of vibe because now what have we seen? Patrick Cantlay play good, or him and Xander win the team event. Now Xander's just absolutely rolling. I just think there's a good mojo vibe going on between these people, and I'm riding with it. We talk about it all the time in Discord. Good mojo is going to beat bad mojo every day. Like tilting, it makes no sense. Like no one gives a shit if your plays suck. Don't tilt. I feel like there's just a good vibe going on between all these guys. I'm going to ride with it. And Cantlay, everything backs if this becomes a putting contest. So like I've heard that a lot of people think this is going to come down to a putting contest. If that is true, in talking in the 9K range, I'm going to want Matt Fitzpatrick, who I was kind of lower on, but he's a very good putter. I'm going to want Cam Smith, Patrick Cantlay putting very good right now. Those three guys are just phenomenal. So I do think the one guy I'm fading is Shane Lowry. People love to play him at an open. There's volatility that comes into play with good scoring and everything. And I'm going to bet on the fact that he can't hang because we can't play everyone. I want more shares of Cantlay and then, Xander. And then, I'm looking at Cam Smith and Fitzpatrick, but I'm not playing, probably not playing Hovland, definitely not playing Hideki, definitely not playing DJ. These live guys, like, I don't know what you guys think, but like their prize pools are better for their live events. Like it's a fact right now. Like, I don't think, I don't know. I just can't see DJ getting that motivated for this. It doesn't seem like his style. So I'm going to take that stand, and it is what it is. Obviously, DJ is a world talent and could show up and win. I'm just going to bet on the fact that he doesn't. So I'm going to make it real simple. For me, Cantlay is my favorite play in this range. Xander, is coming in there. It's like, how do we not play him? And then it's going to be tough. You guys made good cases on Cam Smith and Fitzpatrick. And then the tough part is we talked up Willie Z. I even said it after the last event. I tweeted out, I'm like, we got to just play this guy at majors. But we get to the spot where it becomes a putting contest and we're all worried, and for correct reasons. So it's going to be really, really difficult. But I do know right now that Cantlay is my favorite play, and probably Xander, number 2. Snyder, 1 and 2 in this range.
It's going to be tough. I think, man, I'm just going to go. I like Cantlay this week. I like Cam Smith this week. And I like all those guys right at the bottom. I like Smith, Cantlay, and Lowry probably the best this week. It's hard to go against Xander, though, and Fitzpatrick. Yeah. They're so
always
tough.
Always next week on Shane Lowry. There's Snyder.
It could be.
Let's get Snyder out of the hoop. 1 and 2. And then take us down to the 8K range.
Shane Lowry's in contention for me as well. So
I'm the last guy out. No.
I love Lowry. This range is so hard to decipher. I do think something is telling me it's Cam Smith week. So I'm going to say him 1. I do think he might kind of get overlooked when it's all said and done in terms of the ownership, but we'll see. So I'll go him. And then, it's just hard to mess with what Xander's doing, but these are like my favorite places.
We must be doing something right because we got these like bots in here, like Naked HD, and then we got Mike Carr going Holden's in here. Has me dying.
Holden forgot to switch over his moonlighting job from his RPS moonlighting job. 8K range is easy for me, fellas, and I think this is where we've been kind of in lockstep so far. I think this is where we probably have our first disagreements in this range. I like a lot of those guys in the 9K range. I plan on getting overweight. I'm not going to be able to be in this 8K range all that much. So it's going to be a lot of fades for me. And I know, that this for me is going to be an important range because I know there's going to be some ownership. People are going to be on Sammy Burns. People are going to be on Hatton, Fleetwood, Finau. I'm fading almost everyone in this range. I just can't do it because of what I'm doing above. So, I'm not on Burns. I'm not on Louis. I'm not on Hatton. I played Hatton last week. I like playing Hatton at 7.8K, not at 8.7K. So I'll be off him. Fleetwood. I know a lot of people are going to be on Fleetwood this week after the 4th place finish last week. I'm just going to not be on him because I can't. Finau's been my guy. I can't go. He's the one I made.
I guarantee I'm going to change your decision on Finau.
I would
guarantee.
The second part of my statement on Finau was I could be convinced to play him. We might be lining up for a nice segue into what you got. Not on Sungjae. I mean, Sungjae to me, another guy just extremely overrated. I know he's had good results, but it's like so course specific with him. You have to have him at the right place. Not in on him. Corey Connors, I will be in on. I'm a sucker for Connors. I mean, I play Connors basically no matter where he's at. Man, he's been bad. But yeah, I'll still be on a little bit of Connors. And then I'm in on Neiman at 8K. I think, Neiman just kind of pops up. And when his game is on, he tends to be in contention. So I like Neiman. I like Connors, and then I guess I'm going to be talked into some Tony Finau potential here. So
we'll see. So Connors, I vividly remember. Now I could be wrong again on this. Just going back on kind of images that I saw. I remember him being high up in the leaderboard most of the week. It seemed like last year, benign conditions. I just remember seeing the Connors up there. So this is a dude that I think like you just play. Good ball striker. I think he's going to be a presence in majors. So I'm with you on him. But Snyder, 8K range. Snyder, one guy you got to talk about, Brooks Koepka. I don't know if you saw the Live private jet. They're all partying. Jenna right there, just grinding on him. Man, all those guys, like what's he going to do? Is he going to show up for another major, or is he absolutely dust?
Yeah, this range is tough for me, but I'm going to be off of Burns. I think he's priced too high. Kind of struggled after a good opening round last week. I don't think Burns is in this. He should be priced at this price in this event, so I'm going to be off of him. Tyrrell Hatton is tough for me here. Gets a big price bump here this week. He's got great course history, though, when you're talking about the Dunhill Links. He's finished second in that Dunhill Links championship, played on this course. He finished second in last year and then 2018, and then he won that Dunhill Links event in 2017 and 2016. So he's got a lot of good course history here, but that event is played in October when this course is more wet. It's not firm and fast like it is this week, but I mean, I think he's going to be under 10%, so I'll probably be on Hatton some. Fleetwood's a tough guy. I never get Fleetwood right either. It seems like he's got great course history here, too. He's got 3 straight top 10s on that Dunhill Links championship that he played in those as well. Played great over the weekend last week. Shot 67 over the weekend. I think he's going to possibly approach 20%, though. So that's going to be tough for me. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Fleetwood yet. Probably be off of him, though. But Brooks Koepka right there. It looks like he's going to be like 2 to 4% owned. So, I mean, Brooks in a major might be a little too much FOMO for me there. So sign me up for a little splash of BK there. And Tony Finau was a guy I was definitely looking at too. I mean, he's just popping in all these stat models I'm looking at. Ranks first in 3-putt avoidance, second tee to green, top 5 in par 4 scoring off the tee, scrambling over the last 24 rounds. I think he makes a lot of sense. I think he's underpriced here. I think Finau should be priced where Sammy Burns is. I think those two should be flip-flopped. So I like Finau there. I'll let you talk more on him. I think Neiman's a fine option here, 8K. I think that's a good price tag for him. I think his game should suit pretty well here. I think he's got what it takes to play here. I think he's a solid option, but it's going to be tough for me here. I'm not going to be huge overweight on any of these guys, but it'd probably be Finau or Hatton for me here. I mean, I'll let you talk about Fleetwood. I know you're kind of a Fleetwood guy, and you've been on him lately. He's been playing really good too, so I'll be interested to see what you have to say about this range.
Yeah, my problem with Fleetwood is like I wish there were wind. Like when you look at like course, when you look at go back and like look, whenever it's been like very windy conditions, he always seems to pop relative to the field, which makes a lot of sense. He's a grinder type. I always get worried when conditions are benign and just like scoring is out there and it becomes more of a putting contest because he's not like the best of iron players, but it is an open championship. Your true, you got to know more than like just true yardages. You got to know where not to miss it, where to get it and everything. So I'm torn on Fleetwood. The one guy though, like Tony Finau, when you look at, so he got multiple things going for him, in my opinion. When you look at that calm condition statistic that I was looking at, he pops. He really does. When you look at shorter tracks that are specifically par 72s, he pops. Firm greens, which I think is going to be very important. He ranks 5th in this field on tracks where the greens are very firm, which is what we should expect this week. And then the last thing I was looking at in the chart, I posted in Discord, but Tony Finau, just strokes gained total last 12 rounds. He ranks 4th in this entire field. So he's only behind Rory, Xander, and Matt Fitzpatrick, which is crazy. And then our boy, Hoop's little brother, JT Poston, is 5th in there. So yeah, I mean, you got to admit, like, how does not that guy not come from your family, Hoop? Like, he looks like he would fit right in. JT Poston.
Let me pull up the.
Pull it up. You'll see. So
I do see.
That's why I was calling him Hoop's little brother. Got his win. The rest of this range. So I mean, this is where it gets very difficult, and strategy is going to come into play. So, like for me, Louis is an easy fade. Brooks, an easy fade. Sung Jae, one of the easiest fades. Bryson, probably a fade for me. And so then it really does get a little bit difficult. Tyrell Hatton, he checks some boxes for me this week. I just think I can't play all U.S. players. We're not going to see a leaderboard that's all Americans, even though, I was doing my rankings and I'm like, I got too many Americans up here. We're not going to see it full of that, play out like that. So Tyrell Hatton looked good last week. Has a ton of experience in here. And if it becomes a putting contest, the guy in the metric, that I always talk about, the rolling 24 rounds or cumulative 24 rounds, he's gained 18.1 strokes on the field, cumulative for putting over his last 24 rounds, something that is a nice metric there. Tommy Fleetwood, another guy who's been putting very good, 14.9. So Snyder, maybe I'll talk myself into some flushwood there. And then Tony Finau, we talked about him, tons of interest. And then Corey Connors, the other guy I have interest in. And so the one guy that's like, man, Sammy Burns wasn't good at the Scottish, but if we get no wind all week, he's going to be good. My one fear is when you look back to the U.S. Open, he was right there in the mix, just didn't get it done. And he they weren't showing any shots from him. I think he was 3 or 4 over. He just, he absolutely bailed. So you do worry about experience and everything and just nerves getting to him, even though he's a multiple time winner, this year alone. So for me to sum this range up, Finau number 1, and I gotta say Hatton number 2. Snyder, you're 1 and 2.
Let me go. Finau 1 probably, then and Hatton 2. I thought it was pretty funny last week how Big T is always trashing Hatton, and then he ended up being like one of his highest owned guys as he was doing those wave stacks. Somehow he got a bunch of Hatton in
Snyder,
there.
That surprises you? That should, as long as you've known Tony, that should not surprise you at all. Hoop, before I kick it back to you, my last thing is last 5 years, Open Championship, Links Golf, Tony Finau, T15, 3rd, T9, T27, T18. You're 1 and 2 AK range.
Could be on him. I know that is he's my guy too, so it's like hurtful when I have to fade him. So I might might come full circle. He's not in the top 2, but I might play him. We'll see. It's going to be Neiman and Connors just because they're cheap, and I hate this range. 7K range, tons of guys in here. Not going to name everyone, just going to go through some guys that I'll be fading and some guys that I'll be on. At the top, this Max Homa ownership is looking pretty wild, which, I don't let ownership typically dictate what I do, but some early indicators are looking like maybe over 25%. And I've been playing Max Homa the whole way. So, he's been on a great run, tons of made cuts, a win, a bunch of top 20s. It's going to be hard for me to be off Max Homa here. But just know if you do play him, you're going to have to play a bunch. Cam Young hadn't been playing. I think McIntyre is a great play this week. Sucked last week at the Scottish Open. I believe he was on the wrong side of the weather draw. Seems like a great bounce back spot for him. Adam Scott, I have a little bit of interest in. Mark Leishman. Tiger Woods, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I think people are going to play him this week. And, he's healthy now. Well, that's what they said the last time. They said he was healthy at the PGA Championship, and he sucked. At the Masters, they said he was healthy. He looked good for one round, and then, he could barely walk. I'm not going to be on Tiger here. I know everyone's talking about, betting the made cut and all that. Have fun doing that crap.
Is he going to get ownership? Not to cut you off.
I think he might. I mean, everyone's talking about it. It's the cheapest we've seen him, the cheapest price tag. He's in this value range now at 7.5. Tiger, actually, the ownership is looking low. I figured people would play him this week. I think it's.
I bet people play him 7.5.
Yeah.
I bet your casuals play him. For sure.
I mean, I'll be fading. I don't think he's going to play well here. Can he make the cut? Sure. I think he's capped at probably a top 40. So he'll be a fade for me. Paul Casey, we haven't seen in a while. I love playing some Paul Casey, but, not going to be on him here. Then it gets interesting. I saw in the playbook that you guys are potentially on some Seamus Power. And this guy a guy kind of overlooked, and then I started looking things up, and man, he's been good. And the narrative before was you can't play him in these loaded fields. Well, he's proven that he can compete with the best in the world. So I kind of reverse course on him. Definitely interested there. Probably going to be on some Patrick Reed. I hate playing Patrick Reed, but 7.3K. I have some interest. Taylor Gooch kind of stands out to me as a guy that could be a little bit more expensive. The 7.3 price tag seems pretty solid. Missed the cut at the U.S. Open, but I think he can do some damage here. Sebastian Munoz, been playing a lot of Sebastian Munoz. He missed the cut last week, but I think it was pretty close. It might have been right on the number. 7.2 I like. Ryan Fox, another one of these. Last week he was 8.7K, I believe the price tag was, or some 8.5K. Now he's 7.1K. Love Fox. Moronk was a guy that was relatively popular last week, and he completely sucked. Now much cheaper, slight interest there. Woodland played well. And then our guy Tringali, I was kicking myself last week because I always play Tringali and AP. You sent me that message you're on your boy right this week. And of course I didn't play him last week. So I had all the FOMO going, missing out, and he didn't end up winning, but you definitely take the top 6. 7K, I think I might play a little bit of him. And then Aaron Wise is the last guy that stands out at 7K.
Yeah, very good. A lot of this is the tough tier for me. The top tier is tough too, but you feel more comfortable clicking those names. It gets a little bit more uncomfortable when you get down to the 7K range. Snyder, kick it right over to you. 7K range. What are you doing down here?
Yeah, this is an interesting range for me. I've got some guys I like quite a bit here. Max Homa, I don't think I'm going to get to him. No, it looks like he's going to be 20 to 25% owned, which
Snyder,
that's just wild.
You're the biggest Max Homa hater we know. Right?
I love playing him January, February, March.
That narrative's done. That's done.
It definitely is. I admitted that it was gone, but I definitely love playing him in the early in the year. I'm always on him.
Yeah.
But he's been playing great. I just don't think I can't click that name at 25% owned when Bobby McIntyre, I love him way more than that. He's going to be 20% of the ownership of him. So I think he's going to be right around 5 to 6%.
Real quick. Can I book under 25% for Max Homa and over 5% for Morikawa?
At 25 is the max. I'll take over 20%.
You just said 25%.
I said 20 to 25%.
Okay, 20 to 25. No, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I love Bobby Mack, though. I mean, I love the flop leg spot for him there. He's made 9 of 9 cuts in majors, including top 10s in his last 2 opens. So I definitely like Bobby Mack there. Great spot for him, great price tag. Seamus Powers, another guy I'm going to be on this week. It's been playing very solid as late, like Hoop was saying. 30th at the Irish Open, 25th at the Travelers, 12th at the U.S. Open, and then 9th at the PGA Championship. So definitely I'm going to have him. I think that price tag is really tasty for him right there. I don't think he's going to have much ownership. Adam Scott's interesting. He finished top 15 at the U.S. Open last month. He's made all but 1 cut at his Open appearances. So I think he's a guy that could play well in these type of conditions. Justin Rose, he's got good odds for his price tag. I think he could finish inside the top 20 here, possibly. Justin Smith, I was on him a lot last week. He was I think he might have been in my core or something. Solid course history here on the Dunhill Links and those events. He's entered with a pretty strong form too. 24th last week, 24th at the Irish Open, 8th at the BMW Euro event, and then 10th at the European Open. Great ball striker, just needs the putter to heat up, and he can make some noise here. Ryan Fox, big price decrease for him this week. I like the price savings on him versus last week. 7-1 is a very good price tag. I think he'll be like 10 to 15% ownership, but that's fine. He's played plenty of events, different type of tour events on this course. So I like Ryan Fox this week. Perez is right there. Won the Dunhill Links event in 2019. Was third at the European Open. Won the Dutch Open. Missed the cut last week. Pretty much, I think it was right on the number or something close. I'm going to jump right back on him. He's going to be pretty low owned this week. Danny Willett's an interesting guy here. He actually won the Dunhill Links event last October that was played here. Doesn't have the greatest form coming in, but was top 15 at the Masters. I think he's got good experience, has what's needed to play this course. So I'm going to have a little bit of Danny Willett. There'll be some other guys I'll hit on in Discord or whatever, but I think the 7K range, there's a lot of options for us to find here.
Yeah, really tough range. Like one thing I'm doing is this is the range where I really want to lean on some experience. So you guys both mentioned Adam Scott. I do think he's a phenomenal play here. He has the experience, good ball striker. The putter looks to be okay. Webb Simpson, another guy I'm going to be looking at. He's going to be a nice leverage play. I don't think a lot of people are going to play him at all. And, the John Deere, I'm not looking at and miscut there. I could care less about that. It's an experience thing. I think the course is going to play shorter. It's going to come down to putting and around the green game, which he has, a very, one of the best out there. Seamus Power, tons of interest in him. Man, this dude's been a beast in majors. This was his first season teeing it up at majors. He's been a beast in all 3. I think he finishes it off strongly in the Open Championship. The form is good. The putter is hot. He knows how to play on these tracks, and I think he's a phenomenal play. Justin Rose, I think he's in play. If it becomes a putting contest, Rose has been very good putting. That metric I look at, he's gained 15.5 stroke cumulative over his last 24 round. I even have a little, I wish Poston was in the 6K range. This guy's been playing such good golf. He's a MME play only for me. I don't think he's going to make it to one of my main builds, but when you're talking 150, I'm going to have Poston in my player pool for sure. Mito's the guy that people keep talking him up, but when you look at miscut US Open, Travelers, Genesis, the Scottish Open, miscut. Man, I don't know if I can get on board with Mito.
That was bad last week. Didn't he shoot 11 over or something? He was in second place or third place.
People think we saw what he did and just how he rebounded. The story was cool. It was an awesome way to rebound. Yeah. But people were talking about him he's one of the best players in the world. It's not the case at all. He's always been quite volatile. The putter's always been up and down. Is he a good ball striker? Yeah, he is. But it comes down to, much more than that. So if he's going to be popular, I'm going to be off of him this week. And then going down here, I can't play HV3. I think Russell Henley is kind of interesting, but if we have no wind, he's shown an ability at times to do well in majors. I think Ryan Fox is interesting. Ryan Fox was like 8,500 last week, 8,600. Now he's 71. I think he's too cheap. And I think since he didn't, he made the cut at the Scottish, but he didn't exceed expectations. So we live in a what did you do for us, yesterday or today world. And since Fox, didn't exceed expectations, like ownership's going to be, a bit lower on him. So I like him quite a bit. Molinari is absolute dust. I'd rather play his brother, who I don't think is in the field. Poulter, another guy who I think is just absolute dust. He's a live guy. I'm not going to play him. Steve, Snyder, your boy's kind of interesting. He's just good. Throw him into an open championship. He could just get it done. So I think he's a good MME play. I'm going to have him in my pool for 150. And the same could be said about Cameron Tringali. And then I think my other 150 play is Harris English. And then Aaron Wise is one of the guys I'm looking at as well. So, yeah, my favorite play in this range. It's kind of tough. I think I'm going to say Seamus Power. And it's really tough, but I think I'm going to go back to Webb. He's hurt me quite a few times this season, but man, I just think like his history in the Open Championship is decent. He's good around the greens. He's a good putter, and the course is going to play shorter, which should benefit him. So I'm going to go back to Webb as my number 2. Snyder, you're 1 and 2, 7K range.
I'm going to go with Bobby Mack for number 1, and then I'm going to go with Jordan Smith too.
Yeah, I like it. Jordan Smith. Yeah, really good play. I like that. Hoop, 1 and 2. Then let's finish this out with the 6K range.
Bobby Mack 1, and then 2 is going to be Ryan Fox. Really like Fox this week. So, but it is a loaded range. There's a ton of guys. I do like that Harris English call at 7K. Kind of, a guy that was probably a top 15 guy all last year, hit the injury, but you see, things trending in the right direction for him. So I think that's a good call. It has to be like almost unowned. So I do like that.
He's a good millie play, like that $25 millie. The dude has upside. If he gets through and think about benign conditions, I think it's a really good millie play.
Yeah. 6K, obviously a lot of guys down here. Here's some of the names that I'm kind of looking at the top. Brian Harmon right out of the gate at 6.9K. Started out so strong last week and then just like bogey. He just got destroyed. I believe it was like 200 to start and then just got owned. Probably go back to him. Chris Kirky, 6.8K. I think it's a good price tag for Kirky, a guy that we've seen contend in big events, some quality talent. Now all of a sudden he's 6.8K. Like, why is he 6.8K? Like, I don't get it. So I'm on Kirky. I was on him last week. He, made the cut, but I believe finished like last out of all the people that made the cut. Really like him at 6.8. I just think he's a little bit too cheap. Coming down a little bit more. I'm going to have some KH Lee also at 6.8K. Another guy that when he makes the cut, he typically has solid finishes. Good price tag at 6.8K on him. Come down a little bit more. Our guy Wyndham Clark is playing some solid golf, 6.6K. He's made 4 out of his last 5 cuts. And the nice thing about him is, again, when he makes the cut, you're getting solid finishes. He was 37th at the Memorial. Yeah, is 37th great? No, but at 6.6K, yeah, 30 place finish is good. RBC 7th, missed the cut at the U.S. Open, Travelers 35th. And then 16th last week. So very interested in Wyndham Clark. This Matthew Jordan guy, made the cut last week, but finished like 60th. Slight interest on him. And then I guess, talking pre-show, Kuang Kim, I knew people would be on him, but man, he's looking to be like very popular. And I know, this is one thing that Big T always harps on is like, man, these guys in the 6K range that are popular, just easy fades. This guy's been really good, though. You look at the Byron Nelson, he finished 17th, missed a cut at the PGA Championship, but 23rd at the U.S. Open, and then 3rd last week. Man, I'm going to have a hard time not playing him despite like the high ownership. This Zanotti guy, very big-time cut maker. I don't know much about him, but just makes a lot of cuts. He's made 12 out of 13 cuts this calendar year. 36 last week, only 6.4K. I'm gonna be on a little bit of what's his name? Zanotti. Yeah, I'll be in on Zanotti, I guess, at 6.4K. I think that's about it. I mean, I will add some more guys as well, leading up to lock, but those are kind of the few that stand out to me in the 6K range.
What is ownership looking like on Jo Young Kim? Who had that? Was that Snyder?
Yeah, I mean, some of the initial reports are like 12, 13, 14%.
Whoa,
that's big.
I mean, that's up there. I mean, if he's going to be that, that's like an auto fade for me. I'm with you on that call. Snyder, 6K range. What are you doing down here?
Yeah, there's a few guys that interest me here. Kevin Kisner, I kind of like him this week. He's got that short little drive, but I don't think it's going to matter here. He's going to hit that 6,900. He's going to hit
such a good play, man.
Yeah, he's going to hit that little 250-yard drive that's going to roll out to 300. He's going to have a wedge in his hands. He's great around the greens.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good play.
I love it.
People giving you shit about that play?
Yeah, they were being very hurtful to me in the
always next week. I'm telling you, play him at the Open Championship. Trust me.
I like him. Ho-Town Lee, I like him. He's played really well here on the Dunhill Links events played here, 14th, 23rd, and 5th in those. He was 3rd at the 2017 Open. He's made 5 straight cuts. He won He won the Euro Open at the end of June. He's also minus 158 to make the cut I've seen on DraftKings. So I like Lee there. Wow. Yeah, he was one of the guys towards the bottom that was. I think he was like plus 120 to miss the cut, but like minus 158 to make the cut. Brandon Wu, I was talking to Cam earlier. He likes Brandon Wu quite a bit. 6,100.
Cam likes him too.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. 6,100. I love it.
He finished 6th place last week. Shot 67. Yeah, I like it.
Play Woo with Rory, and you're like mint right there. You can fit a bunch of those.
Absolutely, definitely opens up a lot. He was 30th at the John Deere too in his event previous to last week's 6th place. So I like him. I like this Jason Scrivener guy. He finished 16th last week. He's been solid on the Euro Tour all year long too. He's not long off the tee, but like I said, it's not going to matter too much here with it being so firm and fast. He's solid with the irons, good putter. I think he's 6,700, so I like him. And that Jo Young Kim, like you said, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play him. I think I'll just play Brandon Wu over Kim at basically like 2% ownership to whatever he's going to be at, and cheaper. Zach Johnson is kind of interesting down there, 6,500. Won this event, but I'm probably not going to get to him.
No, it's not. You know what? He's also won the John Deere, and how is he? Like, he's won that multiple times. How's he done in the John Deere the last 3 years, Snyder?
I think he made the cut again this year, but
Brandon is making the cut going to get you to the bench, Snyder?
No.
Wu makes a lot of nice things work.
I'll take Wu over ZJ.
I kind of like Mean Dean Burmeister. He played well last week. He finished 10th last week at the Scottish Open, was good with the irons, and he's played well here. 2021, last October, he finished 7th in Dunhill Links here on this course, so I think he's interesting down there. But basically I like Kisner, Lee, Wu, Scrivener, the best probably down here.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to be locked arm in arm with you guys pretty much. Kevin Kisner, I love. One guy that I don't think got brought up that I'll bring up because I like Kirky and some of these others you guys talked about. Dylan Fratelli, I have a ton of interest in him. All right, here's why.
Some nice nuggets here tonight. This is exciting.
So Fratelli is kind of sneaky. I think he's really interesting. I just remember him last year looking really good in the Open Championship. He's made 2 cuts in a row. I think maybe he's always been a good iron player, good field player, randomly pops. No one ever plays him, decent putter. But man, T32, then a 5th place finish last year. Conditions should be good. He can score. And then look what he's done recently. Like his results, like, they're not bad at all. So Dylan Fratelli, I have a little bit of interest in him. He could make one of my I got 5 main teams. The rest are going to be 150 max. He's a guy that definitely could make one of my main teams. I think he's going to be a nice leverage off of my guy, Chris Kirky. I think Kirky's going to be, much higher owned. They're both 6,800. So I think he's an interesting play. Wyndham Clark, I'm high on him as well. Emiliano Grillo, I'm high on him. Good ball striker. I think with the winds being down, I think it helps him out quite a bit. He looked good at the John Deere. The putter is what worries me. If this is going to be a putting contest, man, Grillo, we put him in that same category as like Willie Z and stuff. But the difference is he's 6,700. So, we get a price discount there. And then, I really, agree with you guys kind of going down there. I think Woo is pretty interesting, but I'm going to say the notebook play this week, Dylan Fratelli. I'm going to go out, get a nice loan guy. He's going to be 1 or 2% owned. I think he's going to be very low, and 6,800 frees up some salary a little bit. So Snyder, give me your favorite play in the 6K range, and then we'll get hoops, and then we'll get to the winners.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you with Kevin Kisner and then Ho Tong Lee. It's gonna be my top 2 guys, I think.
Yeah, Kiz is the other guy. So I wanted to leave that for you, Snyder. Kiz was like the other guy that would be like a good notebook play. So I'm definitely playing Kiz on one of my main teams. And then, look, he's coming off a T6 at the Travel. And this dude is finding form at the right time. I'm telling you, he's such a good play this week. Hoop, your favorite plays down here?
I got to go with our guy Kirky at 6.8K, and then Mr. Wyndham Clark at 6.6.
All right, very good. Snyder, let's get to the winners. We always pick 2. One, we're not worried about the odds. And then the other one, we're given kind of a long shot. So who do you got winning this week?
Yeah, I really do like Rory, but I'm not going to bet him at 9-1. So I'm going to go down a little bit to Patrick Cantley at 20-1. I really like his setup this week. Did I take your guy?
You bastard. Yeah, that's all
you
good.
hate to see it. I'm pretty sure I might even take Hoop's long shot here then, because I'm going with my guy Bobby Mack at 130 to 1.
I swear to God, I literally just wrote it down.
I wish I
2
could.
for 2.
I literally just put that name down. But I like that. Though. I like that you're on my guys.
You love to see it.
You do love to see it. Hoop, kick it over to you. Who do you got winning this week?
I love that upper tier. A lot of options. Something is just pointing me to Cam Smith, and I have a feeling that in terms of DFS, I don't think he's going to get like crazy ownership. About 20-1 to win. So Cam Smith up top. Bobby Mack, I did write down as my guy. On DK is 130-1. Like he has, to me, a legitimate chance to win. 130-1 is just way too cheap. But I'll throw out another one as well. It's going to be Mr. Gooch, and let me see what his odds are. And I had it all teed up too with Bobby.
100-1.
Gooch is 100-1. So Gooch at 100-1.
Yeah, those are good odds. That's better than
you can get Cam Smith at 25-1 odds now on DraftKings too. So I think that's really strong.
That's a good bet. Yeah, I agree. So a lot of good options for betting this week.
Yeah, I got Jordan Spieth winning 16-1, and then I got Tony Finau 35-1. So I think one of the big dogs up top. I think one of those guys is going to take it home this week, and that just is what it is. But the Gooch, I do think the Gooch from a betting standpoint is very interesting. The guy is very, very talented. So, Snyder, final thoughts this week. The last major of the year. Give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm pumped for this. I love how it starts out like at I think 2:30 a.m. is lineup lock when first tee time goes out. It's fun. I love how they do everybody off one tee as well. So I think that's really unique. I like how this event is played. We'll have all the showdown stuff as normal over on the Mayo Media Network. And the playbooks and core plays will be on runpuresports.com. So head on over. We'll be in Discord all day tomorrow too. We'll have the premium show as well tomorrow. So we'll be breaking down any possible wave advantages or anything going on. So yeah, just pumped, ready for this event.
Yeah, very good. Hoop, final thoughts.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. All our content, starting to drop now, and by tomorrow afternoon should have everything in there locked and loaded. And then obviously some stuff closer to lock. Big T's player pool typically comes in a little bit later. The core plays will be trickling in. Cash chart will be done tomorrow morning. Playbook will have its final touches put on tomorrow morning as well. So looking forward to it. Tons of big prize pools. Looking forward to seeing those RPS logos at the top, like always.
Yeah, my final thoughts is pay attention to wind, the forecast, wind projections. I'm telling you, things could change. It looks benign right now. That could change. I don't think it's going to change, but it definitely could. Again, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. We got all the premium content coming out, just like these guys said. Tambo, Big T, Uncle T coming in tomorrow. We're going to be in Discord up till lock tomorrow. So, yeah, with that, let's all have a good Open Championship. Let's all run Pier. Simon, get us out of here.